Has Radovid's messenger been by?
Yes, sir.
And what did he say?
Temeria cannot survive. The kingdom will be divided. The nobles are riled. Constable Natalis stands on shaky ground.
The loyal old Natalis will get kicked in the ass. How predictable.
They nearly reached an agreement, but without Foltest's daughter, it didn't work out.
Perfect. Are the quarters ready?
There is a little problem.
Then we must look at this problem. There's no door.
We can't lock her in a doorless cell.
I can see that, you fool. Out of my way. Uncle Deathmold will cast a tiny spell on your little house. Versa Anem. We won't let that naughty Natalis get you. Clear up in here. This is Loch Muin, not a bloody pigsty.
Oh, bollocks, Geralt. Marshal Raupenek was a cruel, bloodthirsty prick, true. But the times were different.
He had his men murder every last elf in Loch Muin.
For years, Yorveth and his ilk have been using that banner to wipe their asses clean of the shit they do. In wartime, a commander's forced to make all kinds of decisions. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it lay really heavily on Raupenek's conscience.
Bollocks again. I've already admitted he was a prick. Are you defending the Enshe? They've got barrels of blood on their hands as well. With the Vrans gone, we had to safeguard this source of the power, safeguard this historic city. Huh, elven drivel. Heaps of lizard-like bones were found in nearby caves, all bearing traces of sword cuts. Think what you will. I'm more interested in the city's current inhabitants.
Why am I worried you're going to do something really stupid once we get there?
Above all, I'll find the cure to my suffering.
Deathmold was just a pawn in Henselt's hands.
Deathmold is a bloody murderer, and Henselt was a king. A king I killed. He didn't believe I'd do it till the very end. Nor did I. It's not something I want to discuss again. I don't know if I'll ever strike those images from my mind, but I know I don't want to talk about it.
Taking revenge on Deathmold won't change a thing.
Oh, but it will. The ghosts of my comrades will drink to my health. Knights of the Order.
This is the last place I'd expect to see Knights of the Flaming Rose.
They're here with Radovid. After losing their foothold in Temeria, they rebuilt their position at the Redanian court. You best stay out of sight. You never know with those bigots.
Yeah, we also had a little disagreement recently. They could be holding a grudge.
I'll explain that your presence in Loch Muin is necessary.
What now? What can we expect to see in the city?
Separate camps, buffer zones, and frequent patrols. Well, that's how it should be organized if those mages from the Conclave have any sense.
Ah, another area of your expertise.
The Peace of Sintra was signed on April the 2nd, and all around was quiet, calm, and orderly. If you don't count Henselt's roars and the all-night festivities of the Mahakam Volunteer Army. And the common folk were positively thrilled with the parade that followed. Yet, not one of those fuckers even knew that I, and a few others like me, spent a week poring over the city map and devising a way to keep those crowned idiots separate, just in case one decided to deal the next blow in a long-standing feud. In any case, I hope to see something similar here.
Relax. The mages want royal gold. They'll make sure all the sources of financing remain alive and present, at least until the inevitable quarrel over the Pontar Valley breaks out.
Well, we'll see if there is indeed a way where there's a will. If we're separated, we'll meet up again in the main square.
Fine.
Halt! And who might you be?
That's Geralt of Rivia, the man I mentioned.
So you did. Question is, where's the truth in all this? Everyone says the Witcher killed Foltest. You're the only one claiming he didn't.
You shouldn't even be here.
Radovid invited us.
What exactly are you doing here?
That's none of your concern. Be along with you.
I don't believe you killed Foltest.
I didn't.
But a bounty is a bounty. I'm sure you understand. As a professional, It's nothing personal.
One more windbag.
Yes.
Let's play dice.
You must first defeat my teacher. He's a master of magic, but grossly my inferior when it comes to dice.
How can I help?
I want to play dice.
You must first prove you're good enough by defeating the elves who play here.
What can I do for you?
Do you play dice?
Would you like to join us?
Anyone else I can challenge to a game around here?
2 mages, but they refuse to play us.
They only play masters, but beat us, and who knows?
Sure.
Who would you like to play?
Congratulations. You've won.
Thanks for the game.
Care for a game? You win.
How can I help?
I want to play dice.
I could use some coin. Shall we play now? You've won.
Who can I play next?
My apprentice. She's a mere learner in magic, but she's a true master in dice.
Yes.
Let's play dice.
Shall we? You fully deserve this coin.
Who else can I play?
The incredible Lockhart.
Sounds arrogant. Where do I find him?
Somewhere around the market, most likely.
Thanks.
Ready for your chat with Radovid.
No reason to delay it.
Follow me then.
Halt!
We're here to meet King Radovid.
Have you been granted an official audience?
We have information about the Kingslayers.
Everyone knows the killer is the Witcher from Rivia.
Then everyone is wrong.
Not my concern. I cannot risk placing the King of Redania in harm's way.
We bring Radovid news that will strengthen his position during the talks. Care to risk his wrath? Besides, this camp is swarming with soldiers. We'd have to be stupid or suicidal to attack Radovid.
Pass then, if your news is so important. But one word from the King and you'll hang. Both of you.
Don't you worry about us.
Geralt of Rivia.
Your Majesty.
As usual, you turn up where and when you're least expected. And in such company. I never thought they'd make a soldier out of you.
Vernon Roach is a friend. He's in uniform, sure, but that's meaningless.
The world has changed greatly since we met those few months ago. Temeria stands at the brink of civil war. Kedwin has taken the Pontar Valley by force, and a Nilfgaardian delegation plays a prominent role at the summit of the Northern Kingdoms. Foltest and Demavend are both dead. Though it seems we were signing treaties just yesterday. Henselt was butchered in Vergen.
What's the delegation from Nilfgaard doing here?
Henselt invited them. Before he died.
Shillard Fitzhestelon would never miss an opportunity like this one. He'll come to the talks and stage his favorite drama.
Why did you bring the Knights of the Order here, Your Majesty?
The Order of the Flaming Rose is here to ensure that the talks remain peaceful. We wish to avoid a second Thanedd.
I've come here for help, Your Majesty.
Wait, Witcher. Were it not for you, Henselt would have perished at the hands of an assassin. Am I right?
I killed a would-be assassin. Pure coincidence. I just happened to be there.
Things like that oft seem to happen to you. Do you know how he died?
I wasn't there.
The first lie of the day, and the negotiations have yet to begin. How can I help you if you're not honest with me?
I killed him. Henselt had Roach's unit murdered. I can't call it anything else. In doing that, he signed his own death sentence. When he was looking for Saskia in Vergen after the battle, I cornered him in a hut and I killed him.
What about Deathmold?
He followed orders and deserves the same.
Maybe we can come to some sort of arrangement. You said you needed help, Witcher. Tell me more.
If Temeria is in turmoil, then who has arrived to represent it?
Constable Natalis, the hero of Brenner, which is good. His presence is like a slap on Shillard's face delivered by the North.
Who's representing Kaedwen?
Only the sorcerer Deathmold and his men are in Lochmuin. But Deathmold represents himself.
Sheila de Tanserville is behind the murderers that hit Temeria, Edirn, and Kaedwen.
How do you know?
I don't have any proof, but it's her. You've got to believe me, Your Majesty.
A witcher's word is not quite enough.
I found one of the assassins after Henselt's murder. Before he died, he revealed de Tanserville's role to me.
Why you in particular?
No idea.
It's no longer important.
It all makes sense. Shillard Fitzestellen warned me about a plot. Apparently, Triss Merigold confessed to him that the sorceresses had set up a secret lodge.
Triss is working with Shillard?
She's been detained as a suspect. Shillard believes the sorceresses of Nilfgaard were also part of the conspiracy. Luckily, the entire amphitheater is under a spell that quells any magic. Otherwise, no one would dare go near all those mages. Well, the talk's beckon. Everyone wants to see Temeria's bitter end.
What do you mean by that, Your Majesty?
The nobles are rebelling in Vizima. Lacking a ruler, they simply want to divide the kingdom into provinces.
Divide Temeria! Shame on the traitors!
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Anais, the daughter of Louisa and Foltest, lives still. After Foltest's death, the La Valettes came to prominence. Louisa's uncle, Baron Orval, became one of the most important people in Temeria. He wanted to see Anais on the throne, but Vizima was still in turmoil. They sent her to Lochmuin anyway to declare her queen before the entire north. During the journey, the girl was kidnapped. Arian La Valette asked me to use my connections to find his sister, which I did. My people tell me Anais is here in Lochmuin, in Deathmold's hands. I cannot mount an armed attack on the Kaedwenis. It would be tantamount to declaring war, and we have gathered here to maintain peace. A lone witcher and a former soldier. That would be a different matter. Bring me Anais, Geralt, and I'll salvage a united Temeria, and punish those whose hands are stained with the Temerian king's blood.
I heard Arian died in the fire that consumed La Valette Castle.
We all thought so, and we were all wrong. The girl is most important, Witcher. I denounce our engagement and make her queen of Redania and Temeria. The nobles of Vizima would greet her on bended knee, and the North would emerge stronger than ever. I must attend these talks, Geralt. Time is short. Bring me the girl, the two of you. Men without country or commander. Renegades that no one seems to have taken into account. I, in turn, promise that Sheila de Tanserville will pay for her deeds. I shall punish her with fire and steel.
Roach. Roach!
Just the person I'd be looking for were I not forced to seek Anais La Valette. You have much to explain, Brigida Paperbrock.
Oh no, you'll not pin this on me. I trusted you and you sent me into a den of vipers. Vipers!
Another Vess.
This is no time for pleasantries, Geralt. Calm yourself, Brigida. You were to watch Foltest's children. I saw nothing dangerous in the task. Obviously, I was wrong, but I need your help. Anais has been kidnapped. Boosie is likely dead. I need to know how this happened. I need to know the details.
You knew well what you were getting me into. You know that entire rotting bunch. The Count, the Baron.
Not half as well as you do, my dear. Who were those men?
Not so fast, Roach. I have been hiding in this city for 3 days, scurrying about like a rat. They're hunting me. I'll not let you leave me here.
What do you propose?
Escort me out of the city, to the river.
What will that get you?
I expected I would need to fend for myself. I've secured passage. Take me there, and I will tell you all.
It's a long way.
You've a traitor in your camp, Roach. Perhaps more than one. What happened to Foltest's bastards is no series of coincidences. It's the result of a clever, treacherous game.
Damn it all. Geralt, I need to look to Anais, learn how we're to get to her. But Brigida might know what happened to Boosie. Thus far, we've heard nothing but rumors. Take her to the river.
All right, Roach. I'll help you this one last time.
I'll search for a back way into the Kedweni camp.
You're forgetting. I came here for Triss.
Whatever you decide to do later, so be it. But a traitor in the Temerian camp threatens us all. Escort Brigida, learn what you can.
I'd thank you, Roach, if you weren't such a shit.
I'm counting on you, Geralt. Brigida must get to her destination safely.
Good luck, Roach.
Calm thus far. Your dear Roach seems to have been wrong.
You two have a history. Or do I have it wrong?
He asked a favor of me. I was to stay with Foltest's children, watch them, travel with them if necessary. Child's play, the bastard called it. That's how I wound up in the caravan transporting the children to Loch Muin for the summit.
Yeah, that clearly went sour. Tell me more.
Soon enough. We've just got to make it through the forest. It's a short way to the river beyond that. It should be calm.
Let's go.
It's not far now. Redlin awaits down by the river, at the end of this path.
Is Redlin another of Roach's contacts?
No, a smuggler. I'd be looking for another way out if he were Roach's man.
Stay behind me.
This is the smuggler I spoke of.
This was the smuggler you spoke of. Someone's coming.
Thank you. I'd not have survived on my own.
Talk, woman. You've dragged me far away from the city. You owe me an explanation. Who were those men? Who have you been hiding from?
I don't know.
3 days like a rat, you said, and you don't know?
I knew. I mean, I had my suspicions.
So talk. Who's out to kill you?
I don't know.
There you go again.
Truly, I cannot be sure. At first I thought it was revenge for the children. But he knows I'm no traitor.
It's not Roach. We both know that.
Yes. You're right.
What happened to the convoy carrying Anais and Boosie? What about the children?
We were ambushed. The caravan was destroyed.
I need details.
We were traveling along the agreed path, with a limited escort so as not to draw attention. The children were in 2 separate wagons, a safety measure, I was told.
Which one were you in?
I was with Anais. One day a messenger appeared with orders for the caravan's commander. A change of plans. We turned north to travel a longer route for safety's sake. Soon after the turnoff, we were attacked. The attackers were killing everyone indiscriminately. One pulled me from the wagon, but a bolt pierced his neck. It was mayhem. I ran for the bushes and hid.
Did you see what happened to the children?
The driver of Boosie's wagon was shot. The horses got spooked and ran off into the forest, taking the wagon with them. When the fighting was done, they found Anais still in her wagon. I turned away for fear of what they might do. They nearly grabbed her and fled.
Any idea what happened to the caravan commander's orders?
I have them. After they took Anais, the bastards were in a hurry. They didn't even think to search the corpses. Take them.
Thanks. Sure you can manage that boat?
I must. I'll not return to the city. Thank you again, Witcher. And follow this through. You'll do us all a favor.
I believe there's been a misunderstanding, my lord.
Get out, before I call my guards.
And what might I convey?
Nothing.
Baron, sir, you gave your word.
For the last time, out! Tend to this matter.
Baron Ravenin Kimbolt, I presume.
Does that Witcher's code of yours exempt you from court etiquette? Does it grant you the right to speak to the Highborn without being asked to do so?
I guess I don't need to introduce myself.
Oh no. I know who you are. Geralt of Rivia. Foltest's other favorite hound alongside Roach. Not purebred. They say you bring trouble wherever you appear.
Who was that thug I passed in the doorway?
He's of no concern to you.
People like him sometimes do stupid things.
Did I ask for your opinion on the matter?
They're gonna re-establish the Conclave. I didn't expect so many Temerians to show up for the ceremony.
We're not here for some magic pomp and circumstance. This is about celebrating a new order in the Northern Kingdoms.
Is that so?
Your kind doesn't understand this yet, but your life is about to change. Forever.
My kind?
Wanderers and scoundrels. People, and I use the term loosely, without loyalty or country. People for whom coin is the law and everything's for sale.
What'll happen to Temeria?
Is that a note of nostalgia I hear in your voice? Remembering your service under Foltest, or recalling some romp in the sack with the royal advisor? Whichever it may be, spare me your courtesy. You don't care a lick about my country.
I know what I care about. That's why I asked.
Understand this. I'm talking to you only out of respect for Foltest. Out of remembrance for him.
Haven't seen much evidence of that remembrance, aside from the rewards on my head.
They'd have hanged you if not for the testimony of little Anais.
So the girl finally talked.
Whoever that monk was, to me, he was just like you.
I didn't kill Foltest. That's just one of the things that makes us different.
Really? What else? Honor? Principles?
I'm a Witcher. I don't kill humans for coin.
Are you certain it's not just a question of price? Tell me, Geralt. What were you doing at Foltest's side that unfortunate day?
Triss Merigold. I was there for her.
In that case, you killed many for that woman. I hope she was worth it. You're a paid thug. Even if you refuse to acknowledge it. That murky set of principles, values call them. You cast them in the nearest corner when the price is right.
I'm not for sale.
I'm not talking about coin, Witcher. As a freak, you want what you're most often denied. Camaraderie, respect, love. It is for those things that you scale walls and murder innocents. That is your price.
You're right. I should have turned Foltest down.
The royal entourage is no place for a Witcher.
We were supposed to leave after the battle, Triss and I. Foltest had already consented. I should have left before the battle. The convoy carrying Anais and Busi was ambushed. Why?
I'd like to know that myself.
I've seen your letter to Horst Lubbock, the one in which you ordered him to abandon the planned route.
Nonsense! I sent no such letter.
You're lying, Baron.
Watch your words, Wanderer. One nod from me and my people will riddle you with arrows before you can use any of your Witcher's tricks.
What are you waiting for?
To hear the details of your slander.
The letter bears your seal and signature, Baron.
Where is it?
That's immaterial just now.
if that's the situation. I've said all I have to say. I wrote no such letter.
Words come cheap, Baron. I'm finding it hard to believe you.
I care little for what you believe. If this letter exists, we are dealing with a forgery. Whoever is behind this has crossed a Temerian noble, and will be duly punished. My scribe will test the letter and confirm what I claim.
All right. I'll see what this scribe has to say.
There are objective means of examining the letter's authenticity. I promise to pay you well for learning the truth.
The truth does taste better when payment's involved.
Geralt of Rivia, I am delighted to see you among the living and the free.
Are you serious, Count?
Such an injustice to lock you up without so much as a hearing, and then the beatings, the torture. It's barbaric, I tell you, based on pure prejudice, the presumption of guilt.
Actually, if I'd seen what they saw.
But alas, such is my homeland, filled with fear and thus ruthless, cold as stone, dark and severe in aura and mindset.
I suppose there's some truth to that.
A response at once cautious and reasonable. Admirable qualities in and of themselves, positively required in your profession.
If you say so.
But tell me, Witcher, what brings you here? Are you nipping at the heels of Foltest's killer, close to beheading the wretch, as I expect is your style? Do you require my assistance?
I just have some questions, Count.
Well, ask away by all means. I am finding you a skilled, if slightly reticent, conversationalist.
I've got to say you stand out, Count.
I'm flattered, I suppose, but what specifically do you mean?
I haven't quite put my finger on it, but take a look around. Would you say you resemble your countrymen?
I thank the gods I do not. It is because I love my homeland that I am the first to note its faults, and they are many.
Care to elaborate?
Hypocrisy, superstition, lack of learning. Need I go on?
If you wouldn't mind.
Take you witchers, for instance. The gods know we suffer a plague of beasts, pre-conjunction, post-conjunction, magically bred and sprung from rotting marshes and the dark abysses of our land.
No such thing as pre-conjunction creatures.
You bite unnecessarily. We have but one remedy for this plague, dwindling in numbers as it may be, yet it is a remedy we revile. You are shunned, spat upon, turned away on stormy nights. Would you say this is reasonable?
It's the way of things.
Spoken like a true representative of a dying species.
What brings you to Loch Muin?
Concern for my country, Witcher, and an express and somewhat surprising request from Constable Natalis.
Surprising? How so?
Surely you jest, Witcher? Truth be told, few could marshal loyal forces matching mine on such short order, Baron Kimbolt excepted. Yet, though I very much held Foltest's trust, I cannot say that many of my Temerian peers feel the same way.
Why do you suppose that is?
They resent me. I share neither their customs nor their beliefs.
Does the name Brigida Papabrock ring any bells?
Rings bells, sets off whistles. Why? I believe my loins have grown warm. Touch my plums, touch my plums.
Excuse me?
Fruit, Witcher, especially fruit of the south. Tender, juicy, soft on the exterior. That's what I think of when you mention Dame Brigida. The woman is positively obsessed.
I was hoping for a straighter answer.
A man of your experience surely understands what I mean.
So you admit you know her well?
I know her, I have known her, and I expect I yet will, and I'm not alone in that. Though, mind you, I admire the woman. Her kind of ambition is rare among both genders.
Ever taken advantage of that? Ever asked her to run errands for you?
One must be careful with the ambitious. They are almost always running their own errands. Asking them to do yours simply invites them to use you. Baron Kimbolt learned that the hard way. But why ask me about the lass, here and now of all times and places? Surely, given your close allegiance and, no doubt, many a shared drinking binge, Commander Roach has told you all.
Brigida used Baron Kimbolt?
Continues to, I surmise.
To what end?
You cannot expect me to answer every little query that pops into your mind, Witcher.
Commander Roach can be strangely discreet. What do you know?
I'm hardly one to tell another man's secrets.
Indulge me.
If you must know, the rascal Roach rogered our dear Brigida, just before he passed her off onto me, among others, with a purpose in mind, I suspect.
He'll be interested to hear what you had to say.
My, aren't we dutiful?
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the Wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loch Muin, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the Wild Hunt. Could that be true, though?
I'd like to play dice poker.
Want to play now? You just ended a lifelong winning streak.
And you owe me some coin. Or you can pay in kind.
What's your preference?
Show me what you got.
I can give you runes to enhance your sword, an element that'll reinforce your armor, or one of the designs from my collection.
Give me a design. Just make sure it's for something good.
You ought to be happy with this one.
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanedd. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about Elven ruins.
On the contrary, I find Elven ruins interesting.
Do you really? Elven works are not half as interesting as gnomish ones.
But even ruined, Loch Muin is impressive. It must have been beautiful in the times of the First Conclave.
Everything was better before the war, as they say. The sources, those children that old Geoffrey Monk brought here to train in the magic arts, must have walked around gaping at all they saw.
Somehow I just can't imagine Hen Giddimdeath as a small gawking boy.
You met him? Ah, right, on Thanedd. His death was a terrible loss. Terrible. You see, Geralt, everyone complains about how the world is taking a turn for the worse.
Values are being compromised. The small is dislodging the great.
Exactly. But the events on Thanedd truly marked the end of an era. The world grew up, losing its virginity in a rape.
What use are masters of magic and legendary heroes to a grown-up world?
They're of no use. That's the point. Today, people manage perfectly well without mages, witches, and heroes.
Yet not everyone understands that, and not everyone likes it.
You're so clever, you'll get in trouble. We'd best change the subject.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
I'm interested in the Wild Hunt. Any chance you know something about it?
No, birds are not exactly my speciality.
Thanks. I came upon this strange manuscript. Think you can help me with it?
Why, yes. I don't believe I'm mistaken. Do you realize what you hold in your hands?
A mage told me it's the key to an ancient ritual that summons evil specters who otherwise wander the earth doing no good. Specters apparently willing to make deals.
Well, the mage was full of bilge, so to speak. You see, the Vrans knew well how to secure their treasures. It is said that in some places they left sentries. Now, these sentries come to life when someone draws near who possesses a scroll inscribed with words of power, like this one is. Provide the correct password, and the doors to a hidden vault open before you.
So how do I use the manuscript?
Nothing comes free, my friend. You needn't even know the meaning of the words for the sentry to let you pass. You must merely know the sequence in which the password must be read. In this case, we have a sentence. Nana kanpa zi udu ya lala gat exa nana zi udu zi gat kanpa nibit. Nana kanpa means forge ahead, while nana zi means backtrack. In summary, should you encounter a sentry who reacts to this scroll, you must first answer with the words that follow Nana Kanpa in their given sequence, then omit Nana Zi, and conclude with all the words that follow this phrase, but in reverse order.
Not that complicated, actually. Thanks for your help.
Can we go?
Let's do this.
Deathmold is a dead man.
I'm guessing you don't have a plan.
In fact, I do. We need to kill Deathmold and rescue the royal child.
You never did like playing it by ear.
I learned from the best.
See that? Deathmold's put up that magic barrier again. Apparently not a single sound seeps through.
I dread to think what he's doing inside.
Why are you here?
We have business with Deathmold.
The sorcerer is busy. No one's to disturb him.
Recognize me?
Should we?
Of course you should, unless you don't care about being promoted.
Who are you?
Now!
Help me up!
There is one crime that all civilizations consider irredeemable and unforgivable: regicide. Transgression of laws both human and divine, a blow to the vital organs of society. That is why those in power create bloody havoc and wallow in it. They are never punished. Not subject to moral judgments, they stand above the law. Henselt's blood now stains Roach's hands and mine. I could have stopped him, but I didn't want to. Now Henselt is a cold corpse, and the blue stripes in the world beyond are laughing.
Did you see Radovid's retinue? I swear the snot-nosed lad thinks he's king of the world. He should never have shown up here after the recent events in Redania. Honestly, if he grows to be another Vizimir, I hope he ends up like the first. And those robes of his, did you see? All right, there's time for one more. Hands off. You've broken my arm! You've broken my arm! Do you know it's worth, you son of a bitch?
Now it's worth shit like the rest of you.
What do you want? I'll give you anything.
You can't give back what you took from me. Cutting off your balls and slitting your throat will have to do.
No!
You reap what you sow. Are you all right? I am Vernon Roche of Temeria. This is Witcher Geralt.
She's terrified.
If Deathmold touched her, I'll kill the son of a bitch all over again.
What'll you do with the child, Vernon?
I made an arrangement with Radovid, and Vernon Roche always keeps to his word.
Kings only keep their promises when it suits them.
We saw him together. You heard what he said.
You didn't have Anais then. Now you do. Take a minute, consider your options.
I'm a soldier, not a diplomat.
Well, you need to start thinking like a diplomat. You're about to decide Temeria's future. What would Radovid gain by allowing Temeria to remain independent?
He'll marry Anais and unite the two kingdoms.
Anais is not of age.
But she will be. The kingdoms united could even resist Nilfgaard.
Anais won't don the crown anytime soon. A lot could happen in the meantime. A lot could change.
True enough, but you can't predict everything.
Still, it might be worth trying. What else could you do?
Nothing. I either break my pledge to Radovid or honor it.
Suppose you break it.
I'll make another enemy.
Enemies are something you can handle, you said so yourself. The Temerian delegation is in Loch Muin. Maybe we should consider handing the child over to them.
John Natalis. Good soldier, poor politician.
Natalis may not be the most polished diplomat, but both your grandmothers tilled the same soil. Your grandfathers fought side by side.
By taking the child to John Natalis, I'll spark a civil war. The barons won't acknowledge her right to the throne until they feel a boot on their neck.
I don't doubt Radovid will bring the Temerian barons in line. Question is, will he stop there?
It's risky, I know. But when I'm to choose between civil war and an uncertain alliance with Redania, I choose the latter.
A war where brother stands against brother is a curse.
The child will go to Radovid. Come, Anais. I'll take you to a safe place.
Looks like someone's provided an escort.
In the name of King Radovid, we demand that you hand over the child of Louisa La Valette.
Shame you didn't show up earlier.
Pay heed to whom you're talking.
Pay heed to the corpses of those who were impolite to us.
You're lucky Radovid told us to stay calm.
I'll be sure to thank him personally for that. I can breathe easier now that this scumbag is dead.
Revenge unburdens you of your past, but it also affects your future. I don't know any of these substances. Best not risk destroying the letter. Maybe there's a formula for the activator in the scribe's notes. How did it go? Light, quench, shit, rinse. Thus you will the facts evince. To read the truth by lies deformed, guano into piss transform. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. A little burnt lime. A bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of burnt guano. Wait for it to dissolve. I need to add burnt lime to the flask, then quench it with water. Add bird guano to that, heat it, then capture the vapors and run them through cold water to obtain the final substance. All right, let's try this on Kimbolt's letter. I need to make the substance that will bring out the dye and apply it to the letter. A little burnt lime. A bit of water. Everything's better with a dash of bird guano. Wait for it to dissolve. Smells like piss, but it worked. The sheet's orange, not blue. The letter's fake. Kimbold had nothing to do with this. You were right, Baron. The letter's forged.
Of course I was right. I would never seek to hurt Boosie. Bastard or not, he is still a child. Your payment, Witcher. I want you to look into another matter.
What would it involve?
Count Linus Maravel. You've heard the name?
Young, capable, handsome.
Yes. Yes, all that and more. And he's ambitious to a fault. Right after the Temerian delegation arrived in Lochween, his people began visiting the Nilfgaardian camp regularly.
Are you suggesting Maravel's a traitor?
We are all entitled to communicate with the ambassador without chagrin and openly, as court and diplomatic protocols allow. Yet the Count's multiple messengers, the letters traveling to and fro, it reminds me more of a complicated courtship.
You're curious to know the content of those letters.
I want you to learn the Count's plans. The man would sell his mother to please the Emperor. Find out what Maravel's messenger is carrying. If treason is involved, you must alert John Natalis. You will be generously rewarded, I assure you.
You need a Witcher to do this?
Do not underestimate Count Maravel. He does not employ common scoundrels, and I don't intend to either. Hieronymus Lash. Sound familiar?
A pretentious, invented name. Belongs to a bard or a mummer, I'd say. But you wouldn't need my help with either of those, so I'll venture a guess. Maravel entrusts his correspondence to a mage.
I knew you were suited to this task. The magic barrier placed over the city mutes all forms of high magic, preventing Lash from contacting Shillard remotely. He nevertheless remains dangerous. During the times of the previous conclave, I believe he was caught practicing black magic. He faced execution, but that louse Maravel saved him.
How do I locate this messenger?
Look for my man Aldridge by the fountain here in the camp. He'll point the mage out to you.
All right, I'll look into it.
My lord, we know where they are. What are your orders?
Bloody wonderful day. Assemble your men and resolve this once and for all.
Master Witcher!
What do you want?
My lord, the Right Honourable Count Maravel requests the pleasure of your company. He says it's urgent.
Seems like everything is these days. Tell the Count I'll think about it. What's so urgent, Count?
Etiquette is not your enemy, Witcher. It would not hurt you to embrace it at times. In any case, I could not help noticing you circulating in and out of Baron Kimbold's quarters. Yet I wonder if you are fully aware of the kind of man you serve.
What do you mean?
He cuts a fine figure, doesn't he? The heavy cloak, the silver mane, the booming voice. Yet our worthy Baron is hardly the saint he makes himself out to be.
A lot of that going around recently.
I am in possession of certain information that might interest you.
Mm-hmm. And you want to share it because?
We come from different worlds, Witcher. On the surface, we are as unlike as wraiths and wyverns. Yet, no matter our preferences, culinary, political, erotic, ultimately we both are interested in and tirelessly seek one and the same thing: the truth.
You can talk, Count. I'll grant you that. But I'm not convinced you can be trusted. Baron Kimbold also offered me the chance to learn a certain truth. I don't think I need to say who about.
And you are certain that Kimbold can be trusted?
So far, all the Baron's words have proved true.
Well, then I merely ask that you verify mine. You are not the sole person to have repeatedly visited our kind-hearted Baron recently.
Doesn't seem strange to me. given the time and the place.
He has also had some more troublesome callers, blackmailers to be specific. Now, I'm not handing down any verdicts. Perhaps the Baron has some personal problems, in which case I would very much like to help him.
Get to the point, Count.
My people have learned where these blackmailers are encamped. I assume Baron Kimbolt has not been sitting on his hands and has also dispatched his huntsman to find them. A horrible man.
I know who you mean. Ran into him in Kimbolt's quarters.
Then you must also know that if you do not make haste, nothing will be left of our blackmailers, save some rotting corpses. I shall show you where they have their camp, and I merely ask that you learn what is at issue. Naturally, you can count on my gratitude, though we both know that is not the greatest reward.
I can't promise you anything, Count, but I'll think about it. Farewell.
Witcher Geralt. We meet again. Who would have known? I thought cats always landed on four paws, but I see wolves sometimes do as well. I trust you have not come to demand my surrender again.
I've come to find the Kingslayer.
And once again don the robes of a hero? Enjoy the fame?
I don't know about robes, Arian, but something along those lines.
Well, as much as I detested Foltest, Temeria now trembles in its foundations, and I sincerely hope Natalis succeeds in salvaging it. Otherwise, the barons will tear the country into bits.
The last time we saw each other, you had locked yourself in a cellar full of oil that you had set on fire.
I grew up wandering the nooks and corners of that fortress, Witcher. I know passages even the mice have not heard of.
For a long time, a lot of people thought you were dead.
Well, that would make two of us, am I right?
I spoke to Radovid.
I take it you know what has happened to Anais, then?
Why Radovid?
My sister, the blood to which Temeria's throne belongs, has been spirited away. Of those here, only he is mad enough to use force to recover her.
Radovid rules Redania.
Don't take me for an idiot, Witcher. I know well that in this world nothing comes free. If my sister can be saved only if she passes to Redania, I'll not hesitate.
Shouldn't you be in Vizima? I heard things got a bit chaotic after Foltest died. It might be a good time to try your luck, especially if you've got royal blood in the family.
Clearly you do not understand what will happen here, Geralt. The re-establishing of the Council and Conclave is but a pretext. The North's most important rulers have come here not to reconstruct some assembly of mages, but to seal the balance of power and establish spheres of influence. Only fools and cowards have remained at home.
What do you want?
I saw you talking to Kimbolt.
I'm free to go where I please and talk to whoever I please.
Couldn't agree more. Now you're here and you'll talk to me. I'm interested in the Baron.
I've naught to say to you.
Not good, because I need to know everything you know about him.
Baron Kimbolt sends his regards.
Oh, just what we needed.
Leave us, Witcher.
Since when does a Witcher take orders from a huntsman?
Since that Witcher stopped hunting monsters and started poking his nose into others' affairs.
Sometimes the stench is so strong you can't help but catch a whiff.
Aye, well spoken. You've some common stinking thugs here, and I'm to teach them some humility.
A ponce like you? Pucker up and kiss my arse, you fucking tulip!
These folk have nothing to say to you, understand?
I'll be the judge of that.
Lend us a hand, Witcher. You'll not regret it.
I'll need to know everything about Kimbolt.
God, this is shit! Enough of your jabbering! Kill them all!
Thanks, Witcher. We'd be corpses if not for you.
Yeah, seems likely. Now don't make me regret helping you.
You're welcome to all we know about Kimbolt.
I'm all ears.
We came here to collect our fee, me and me brothers, for a favour we did the Baron.
What did you do for him?
Spent 4 days in a forest, sitting on our asses.
Baron Kimbolt wanted to pay you for that?
Course not. We was to destroy some wagons in a caravan that was to pass through Millville. Problem is, caravan never came round.
I can see why you're having trouble collecting.
Kimbolt had shite information. How is that our fault? That bugger lost us a right lot of time. And you know what they say, time is coin.
What exactly were your orders?
We was to watch the high road for a caravan carrying nobles. 2 coloured wagons and a small escort. The wagons, they was ours. All inside was to perish.
Any idea who was supposed to be in the wagons?
2 high-born young'uns and their nannies. That's all the Baron told us.
Willing to tell Natalis all this?
I'm to fess up? They draw and quarter me?
You didn't do anything. Took a job, that's it. They can't prove you actually wanted to complete it. If you refuse, Kimbold wins. He'll squirm his way out of this, but it won't end there. The Baron's got gold enough to hunt you till he hunts you down.
Not likely. I'll see them tear stripes off his back with hot pincers. All right, I'll talk to Natalis.
Nigbit.
Welcome, Chosen One.
Who are you?
The Ancients vested my soul with the task of operating their most prized artifact as a means of rewarding those proclaimed Chosen Ones.
No one's proclaimed me a Chosen One.
Foolish of you to admit it. You are an intruder deserving of punishment. You must die.